Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. So this is a beginner's kind of base makeup, all about skincare, foundations, all the things for skin to learn how to do your own makeup. So keep tuned in to see all about it. Okay guys, so getting started. For beginner's makeup, this is all going to be regarding you. If you're a beginner, it's regarding all things skincare, skin types, all that. So starting off, your skin prep. So I just like to brush my eyebrows up before whatever I do. So starting off, you want to keep, if you've got dry skin or oily, mine goes between the both. I like to just hydrate my skin so it's ready for having a full face of makeup on, because obviously you're putting makeup on regardless of your skin type, it's going to clog up, it's going to get dehydrated, so you want to keep that hydrated and keep them like nice and fresh. So my go-to for this is L'Oreal Hydra Aloe Water. So it comes in this like blue box, so if you're going into like Superdrug always do them on deals, but if you're ever going into these places, it's like in a blue box, because people have said to me they can't find it, but I wouldn't have found it if I didn't know it was in a blue box. So it's like this tall kind of blue box, same kind of colour as this, and it says on it like different skin types. So there's one for dry to sensitive skin, there's one for dry to normal, and there's one normal to oily in combination, I'm sure it is, but there's a different range, so just have a wee look, ask if you're not sure, or you can even ask me. But yeah, lots of different ones for different skin types, so this is definitely a must have. This full bottle could last me so long, and obviously when I'm working I use this like a lot in one day, so I would definitely recommend that. Also the Aldi Lacura, I'm sure it's the, I've got two there. Where is it? There. I just looked at it. Rejuvenate moisturising creams. So they've got like day creams, night creams, like their skincare and their makeup range is pretty good for quite cheap price as well. Other things, Ole Henriksen, I think that's how you pronounce it. They're really good. I want to get them. I've just not had a chance to order or go out and go and get it because of everything that's going on. My mind's went blank. I actually videoed this last week to post, but my phone, like halfway through it, my phone like froze and then restarted and it was just stuck on the Apple logo, and I was like, this isn't happening. I was like, actually had to restore it. I sat up all night, it cut off about 5. I sat up all night trying to fix it, trying to see if I could just update it, and then I had to come to it, I had to restore it, so I lost all that content. So this is round 2, now my mind's blank because I've already felt that I've done it and all my ideas are gone. I like Johnson's baby lotion just for moisturising all over my face as well. Sometimes I just use that and this, and that's me. Why have I went blank? Okay, so I'm just going to apply this to my face. So I usually just take 3 pumps of it. Goes a long way. So rub it between your hands and then place on. I just put it all over my face, right over eyebrows, over my eyes, into your nose, and down my neck. Okay, so while I'm doing my skin prep, I'm going to just stick on some Cherry Carmex. So this has got SPF 15, so if you want to go in the sun, don't want to burn your lips, because I actually burnt mine like here. It's not as bad as it was the other day, but it was so sore. This is really good for hydrating. Moving on, so foundations. So for dry skin, you want to get yourself something hydrating. If you're in the store or Superdrug, anywhere, like any store at all, that beauty store, if you're testing them, see, you'll be able to kind of tell when it comes out the bottle how the consistency is and what kind of skin type it's for. So if it's runny, it's probably most likely for dry skin, and if it's obviously a thicker mixture or a thicker consistency, you'll know it's for oily skin because it will probably most likely dry and matte. This one is what I'm going to be using today. So this is the Maybelline 24 Hour Superstay. So I would recommend this highly for beginners. I do use this on a lot of different skin types. I feel like it's quite like, what's that word? Is it no. Saying that, the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, I use that on one of my regulars and she has quite dry skin and that lasts her all day. So I would recommend the Fit Me one for dry skin because it's quite a runnier consistency, whereas this is much more thicker. This foundation is amazing in the shade 36. I just love that with tan on. It's called Warm Sun. Need that. If you're a big tan wearer, get that. NARS Natural Radiant Longwear, I've got that in my drawer. That is best for dry skin, also normal kind of combination skin. I wouldn't recommend it for oily. What else is that? I use that. I use the NARS one for weddings and like anyone that's not as heavy with their makeup. It is buildable, so that's a good thing. Like, you don't want a foundation that feels dead cakey and you feel like you can't move in it as if it's like cement. But the Fenty Beauty one, that's the one I use on my clients too. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation is really, really good. This dries in matte, so it's much best for oily skin. Getting mixed up now. So Fenty for oily skin and NARS for dry. So Maybelline Fit Me, Maybelline 24 Hour Superstay, NARS, Fenty. The Ordinary foundations are quite good. They're quite oily though, but it's most best for skincare kind of foundations if you're not too heavy or you want to kind of keep it light. I'm trying to think. So I just kind of try and stay to a small little range of foundations. I've tried the MAC, not a fan. I don't really like how chemically smells coming from it, so yeah. Maybelline, NARS, Fenty, that's probably my three go-tos, so I wouldn't really recommend anything else just because I've not really tried anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with contour first. It's just a quicker routine for me, and it is good for beginners, especially if you're not great at blending out your contour. So first of all, it does look a bit mad because of the process you're doing it in, but you contour first. So what we'll do is we'll get the contour. So I use Black Opal Beautiful Bronze for contour. This is an actual foundation stick. So this brand's for darker skin tones, which is really good because there's not really any like brands out there except from this and Fenty, I think. That's all I've really heard of that do products just for darker skin tones, and that's really nice because no one does. So another contour stick which is good is the Sosu by Suzanne Jackson, and that's the contour stick in the shade Cool. I use that for if I'm trying to keep my makeup quite light. The only reason I use this is because if I'm wearing a high neck top and I've obviously not got tan on, but I don't like making my foundation and stuff too light, so I just don't feel like it suits me. Other things, these are good. So the P. Louise bases in the darker shades, they're good for contouring. I use the base as well for highlighting. What else? The Revolution. Where is it? Revolution concealers. They are able to be bought in different shades. They go up to quite a dark range as well. I've used the shade C14 for contouring, and I use quite a light shade for highlighting, so this is C3. So what I'll do is I'll start contouring first. So obviously being a beginner and whatever, you want to learn your face shape, so the best thing to do is probably search up face charts, or no, not face charts, sorry, face shapes, like face charts for face shapes, so you can see the lots of different face shapes and you'll be able to analyse your own in comparison with them. So what I do is I just place my contour stick into my face, and you can kind of feel about and see where your bone is. So mine's is there, and I just kind of curve under a little bit, so it kind of goes in the shape you want it to. Like, let the thing do its own work, you'll feel it going into your cheekbones. Then I like to place some contour around my lips. Honestly guys, don't matter. Looks like I'm a kid and I've got a hold of my mum's lipstick. I just like to dig it into my jaw. You don't need a lot of this, you just one coat will do. And then I like to put it here just to contour my temples and then along my hairline. So it's not much, but oh, my nose. So I just use the edge of that. I like to just take, this is probably the best brush I think I could recommend. So this is the Peaches and Cream PC19. So it's a very dense brush. It's good for packing on your foundation, blending out your contour. So the technique I use for blending out contour is just a like patting motion. So you don't want to swipe because that will just make the product go that kind of muggy colour. You want to just pat it in and just give it a nice soft edge. Obviously we're putting foundation on top of this, so you don't need to worry about it still looking harsh. You just don't want it to be proper harsh edges. You want to soften out the edges a little bit. Of course the colour will still be like, wow, she's orange. So take your choice of concealer. So I'm using the Conceal and Define Infinite Longwear Concealer, crease proof, big statement. So I'm just placing at the areas where I have not contoured. But obviously, depending on your face shape, your contour and highlighter might vary. Just have a look at what kind of face shape you are and contour to fit your best needs. This is definitely one of the best techniques I've ever tried. I actually learnt this technique off of Scott Barnes. It's J-Lo's makeup artist, and he done a video with Tati on her YouTube channel, and it just changed my whole makeup game. I was just like, why did I not know this before? But I will be honest, when I was watching it I was like, oh, okay. So for my nose, I just drag that down and let it kind of go around the edge. So I just let the kind of applicator do the work, so it's contouring where it should be. You don't need a lot of concealer, I would say. You just kind of need to dot it on. I usually let pure coat everything, but because your foundation's gone over it, you don't really need much. Okay, so for this bit, I'm using this little Real Techniques brush. So this is one of the most popular brushes ever. Everyone uses it, and I actually don't have the name on it. I've had it that long. But if you want to know what it is, I can try and search for you. So again, patting motions. For all of your cream products, you want to use a patting motion. This will give you the best coverage. You're patting into the skin, so you're giving it a seamless finish. And again, trust the process. So you're just patting it into the edges that you've blended your contour out. And you'll start to see it kind of come together now when you're doing this. Of course, you've got to put your foundation on top, but you'll be able to see how it's going to look and how it works. So just continue patting in all over until you're finally covered. So this gives you a rough idea how your foundation and your base is going to look when finished. So my foundation's nearly done, so I'm just being lazy and scooping it out of the bottle. So I just, if it was full, I would put it on the back of my hand and use a flat foundation brush or a flat concealer brush and just apply it all over. Oh, did that go on my bed? Yes, it did. Of course it did. Of course it went on my bed because it's me and everything just doesn't work for me. So just apply a good bit to cover everywhere. I would probably just try doing it in small layers. So apply a little bit, pat into the skin all over, and then you'll be able to tell if you need a little bit extra. You don't want to go in with too much straight away. So I'm just using the same brush I used for contouring, and I'm just patting all over. Patting your foundation over your contour gives you that nice strong contour without having to sit and blend your contour out, so it's so much better doing it first. Okay, so I'm using the P. Louise in collaboration with Mama Mitchell, and this is the Acid Rain paint in the shade Raver. So I'm using this for blusher. This is quite risky, especially if you're a beginner, so even maybe try it if you're not going anywhere. Have a wee practice. It's kind of getting the way to like play with it and getting the technique to how to use it. So what I do is I take the tiniest bit, like this stuff goes a long way, so I'm literally tapping it on the skin. There's like nothing there, the bottle's still full. Don't even think the bottle would know anything's left it. So tiniest bit, and then I'm using my, it's already got stuff on it, well it's stained as well, but I'm using that and I'm just buffing on the back of my hand until there's like no product left, because you really do want it to be like there's nothing there, because this stuff, like once it's on, it's on. So buff that out, just do that in the back of your hand just to make sure there's no thick bits, because then it'll end up sticking to your face. And then I'm just, so if you don't know where to put your blusher, just smile and see the wee apples of your cheeks, just pat it in there. And like when I'm doing this, I use like a kind of pat lift, and then I'm kind of going like that. So pat lift, and again really really light pressures, because you don't want to put it too heavy. So I'd recommend doing this in little light layers. Don't go all in at once, too heavy. And I know this looks again stupid, but you need to trust the process once again. So I like to just put it around my forehead as well, just to bring kind of life back into the face, because you don't want it all be like orange or yellow or whatever tone you are. So I'm just packing that on a little bit extra. And I know it might look a wee bit intense, whatever, but I just like to get it packed on. Yeah, clown. So now I'm going back to my brush that I use for foundation, and what I'm doing is I'm just patting over the top just to give it that little bit of neutralise. You'll notice it starts to merge in better with all your face products. So much better than that side, see, already. So if you feel like you're maybe too pink or whatever, take your P. Louise base, your concealer, I'm actually going to take the concealer, and just apply the teeniest wee dot where you want it a wee bit more lighter. I just feel like I've come in too far with the blusher. I like kind of leaving it a bit here and no further. Just feel like it's a wee bit far. And then maybe here as well. So if there is too much pinkness, just pat that back in. MAC Mineralised Skin Finish in the shade Light Plus. Now I've learnt a wee tip over lockdown that when I'm putting setting powder on, if I put loose powder on, it kind of sticks to little bits when I'm trying to like bake my face. So what I've learned to do is put some pressed powder on first. So I use the MAC Mineralised Skin Finish in Light Plus, and I just pat that in to the desired areas first. Just a little bit. It just changes everything. And then I'm going in with my RCMA powder. So for pressed powders, I highly recommend MAC Mineralised Skin Finish in all the lighter shades. Maybelline Fit Me powder is really good, and this is really good for your loose powder. Very affordable. That lasts so long. I don't even know how long I've had this, and I've been using it on clients, myself, everything, so this I go to. So I'm just going to put it on the back of my mirror. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it back on the back of this. Oh, okay, sure man. So you don't need a lot of that, just a little bit. And patting into it and then tapping off your excess, and I'm just patting in to my desired areas. This makeup routine is like my natural go-to, and I really don't do anything on my eyes, so just keep patting that in. Don't swipe. I use actually use that patting technique for everything, I'd say. I don't actually think there's a point that I don't use it. So there you go. We're moving on to bronzer. So first of all, I use, again, MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. That's the only thing I could recommend to you. Also, Doll Beauty Dark is really good. Medium's good for obviously a lighter tone. Milani Baked Bronzers are good, and they're baked blushers. They're affordable, so I would definitely recommend that. And the Revolution one, their bronzers, it's like a wee bronzing bar thing. That's really, really good. Especially for beginners, you don't want to go out and spend a fortune if you're just learning. So again, just going over where my contour is and just patting into the skin. So this is MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun. So I use this for like all over bronzer. And then I'll go back over when I'm fully finished my look with my contour shade, which is Dark Tan. Sometimes I use Doll Beauty Dark, because that is quite dark, but just because I've actually got none really much left, and also I don't want it to be too harsh. So I'm just going to go over my cream blusher with this shade here. So I don't wear makeup, I don't wear highlighter when I'm doing my own like go-to kind of natural day-to-day routine. So what I use is blusher, and this is the shade Hushed Tone. So you can see it's got a little shimmer through it. So when I'm not wearing highlighter, I use this, and that's all I use. So just get a good bit, tap your excess off, and then the same thing again, just patting and kind of flicking it up. So before I put the highlighter on my nose, I'm just giving my face a spray with Revolution Hyaluronic Fix. So this is a hydrating and plumping makeup fixing spray. Definitely one of my favourites. I've tried Urban Decay, I've tried MAC, I've tried other high-end ones. That's probably my favourite. And Primark Hydrating Spray, wow, I love that. That is a dupe for Urban Decay. You can kind of just tell though with the packaging that it's a dupe. Highlight, I would recommend Doll Beauty Like a Diamond. Definitely one of my favourites. So I'm just putting it on my nose, the bridge of my nose. Then I like to just put it above where my eyebrows are, like the kind of end of my eyebrows where my nose goes down. Like, just pat it in, and then I kind of do little circular motions. This brush is the Zoeva 230 Luxe Pencil. So if you're struggling for brushes for beginners as well, I would recommend going onto Amazon and typing up Jess Up brushes. So they're really, really good for beginners. It's like £25 and you get like 30 brushes, which is really, really good for that amount of brushes. Like, everyone's quite expensive these days. So I would definitely recommend that for a starter kind of thing. I'm just going to put a little bit in my inner corner too. Just the tiniest little bit, just to kind of highlight my complexion, but I'm not putting any here at all. Okay, so next I'm just going to go in with the contour shade, which is Dark Tan, just because I forgot about a step that I'm going to do later on. So just pat in on top. I kind of like pat, but like push in and lift, so it's as if you're lifting the cheekbones. Next, what I do is I like to add false freckles to my face. So what I'm just going to use for this, for quickness, I'm just going to use a spoolie and just dig it into the Hoola bronzer. But if I was wanting to like last all day, I would put some setting spray in a wee tub, scrape some bronzer out, stick it in a pot, and then I would get a spoolie, dip it in the mixture, and then just flick it on my face. I've done it in my TikTok hacks and my first hacks video right down the bottom of my page. So if you want to see how I do that, go and watch that. But I'm just going to do it, as I said, for quickness today. If I can find my spoolie. Here we are. So Hoola bronzer, spoolie. So I just dig in the edge in. There's like the tiniest bit in the edge. So I just like to add a few, I just kind of dab everywhere quickly. So there's like different tones, like dark ones, light ones. then I use my powder brush or the back of my index. Is that your index finger? I think so. Oh no, that's your ring finger, isn't it? Ring finger. To neutralise it, like just pat it in because your finger's warm, so that will help the products merge. I just like to get a good bit of coverage because I don't put highlight on. I like this as my kind of statement thing, as I don't wear highlight on my own face. It's getting so dark outside and I feel like this light's just making my makeup look a bit high intense too. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to brush my eyebrows through while I'm here. Okay, so next we're going to do eyebrows. So we're using the Revolution Brow Pomade in the shade Top. So I like this because the kind of tone of it. Sometimes I don't like this, I like soft brown. I feel like soft brown's a bit of a warmer tone. This is more of a, I don't really know how to describe it. But anyway, these are really good, very cheap as well. Also the Olivia Bell brow pomades, they're on Instagram. So cheap, and it's 100% a dupe for Anastasia, like honestly guys. That's the only things I would really recommend, Revolution and Olivia Bell. So for doing eyebrows, I just brush them all up and then I like to just follow the underneath of it and just use a very sharp brush. This is actually a paint brush, but honestly, see, most of the brushes I like are paint brushes. So just let the brush do the work and just follow underneath. So just like that. And then what I do is I just use the sharper edge and just like lift it up. So it's like creating little brush strokes. Just add some more product if you need it. Again, you need to use really soft pressures for this. Just to keep it more natural, like you want to keep that brows, like the brows hairs, like realistically. So that's what that looks like in comparison. So it creates a much fuller look. So what I'm going to do is just put some eyebrow gel through it, just to show how it creates that fuller look. This eyebrow mascara just kind of creates depth because it's obviously a darker tone. And it's just so much better for keeping your brows in place. This is the Maybelline Brow Drama in medium brown. So look at the difference, much fuller, and it looks nice and natural and fluffy. Okay, so next I'm just putting some lip liner on, Makeup Academy, MUA, whatever, in the shade Sincere. So this is like a nice brown tone. I think the whole thing about liner, like lip liner, is taking your time. What I really do is I just kind of dig my pencil in and let it follow my shape. Everyone's lips are different though, so either try that or start like from the middle, do a little bit there, then do a bit there, and then connect them, like do the edges. So I'm just putting on Doll Beauty Foamo lipstick just in the middle for a little ombre effect. So I'm putting the Peaches Clear Gloss over the top of that. It's my favourite. I just do the little tiniest bit of liner, but I'll show you anyway. So I use a Ted Baker liner. I don't know how you get this. I don't know if it's available separately, but it came in like a kind of gift set for my Christmas. So just give it a good shake. Any like liquid liner's good for this. So what I do is I just take from the very edge and just take a little line up. It's literally just a wee wing that I do at the side. I don't take it like right into the inner corner and stuff. It's just right on the edge. Okay guys, so that is the end of this beginner's makeup tutorial. So please, if you do have any questions or I haven't explained anything enough for you, please just drop me a little message or even just drop a comment. So this is just a beginner's face kind of tutorial, so if you want like maybe a smoky eye or a smoky eye with glitter or something for a beginner kind of look, let me know, I can get that done for you. I did do a smoky eye video a couple of days ago, maybe just like look that's got like really in-depth detail, so have a wee look at that and let me know how you get on. And if you do recreate any of my looks, please tag me so I can see them and repost them on my story. Love you guys, bye!